Alright, so I went to the library, and again, I didn't get like a whole bunch of books like I usually do. And the reason for why that is because number one, I'm still on that pile of 21 books, and I still haven't gotten to the pile of 27, which I think it's 26, but the January pile. The pile I've been putting off since January, and of course, yeah, again, I've added some, and I had some February, March, April, May, and June, but still, I just started in January. Late December, early January. Still haven't gotten that pile. So for now, I would say honestly until September, like at this point, and like I did today, I'll sprinkle in some books from the library, but then also the Prime Reading thing where they added 200 books for DC Comics. So that's gonna be my library for a little while. Now I'm not gonna read. I don't like reading a whole lot of digital comics either because mostly because I like to read outside sometimes, and it's a lot easier to bring out a physical book than my iPad because glare and everything. So, but even then, like I want to when it gets dark, I'll get on the books, and just I don't want to have a whole bunch of books from the library to focus on, then not focus on the Kindle books. So there's that too. But anyways, let's get on with it. But again, like I said, I'll also get probably some movies. I think the next time I go, I'll probably just get nothing, honestly. So I'll be focused on 27. Alright, when I'm focused on 26, to the January pile, I will take a little break from Kindle. And even then, I don't like doing that. So, when I am able to, when I read, because a lot of them like 5 issues, and once I get through those, then I can get on the Kindle books. And by then, I'm going to be like, oh, we're so far behind, gotta get on the books, And ironically enough, one of them is DMZ. They give you an entire DMZ series for free on the Kindle for Prime Reading. Again, you'd have an Amazon Prime account, but that's basics. Like everyone has an Amazon Prime account that has Amazon and that has a Kindle, whatever. You have one, you have the other. Unless you're me, you have 2 accounts. The one that isn't mine, it's one we all share, the family account, and then my own personal account, which is a burner account. I just use for stupid shit, honestly. Anyways, let's get on with it. Now, I just realized I not order these by rewatches. So 10 movies again, and I have at least one movie per rating. I mean, it seems like I didn't check to make sure this was Darren Aronofsky. Who's rushing today? Is it? Yep. Okay, good. I was pretty sure. There's just 2 movies that it's a fighter was one of them, and there's another movie. It's a wrestler, and I always get those 2 confused. Like a fighter, wrestler, I haven't watched that one. Huh? 3 rewatches again. It was last time, right? 10 movies again, and 1 movie per rating, going from G to R. No NC-17, but the basic ratings, starting with a movie I've seen before, and because I was reading the Suicide Squad case files, I decided why not rewatch the movie, the good one. So, give this a rewatch. The longest time I was just like, I've watched it once. I don't really have. I liked it, but I had no real reason to watch it again. Then I was watching a clip because I was like, oh yeah, Bloodsport, and I was rewatching a Bloodsport. Jesus. I was rewatching a clip where Bloodsport was in it, and I was like, you know what? I really want to watch this movie again. It's just kind of like, I felt like it was James Gunn movie. I like James Gunn movies, but it was kind of like, I don't need to rewatch it again. Like, same with Guardians 3. I don't need to rewatch it again. Maybe if I do a trilogy rewatch of all the Guardians films, but even then, I don't need to watch it again. But time will change. You never know. The first one I'd watch again. Like, that one is so rewatchable. But after that, you're like, yeah, they're good movies. I like them, but don't even watch them again. This one is one I'm going to try my best to watch with the family, and that is the Florida Project. Now, this is not a kids movie. It's rated R, but it's one I'll watch with the family. From what I remember, it's only rated R for the language. I mean, there's like other stuff, but nothing too bad. Yeah, nothing too bad. Yes, Florida Project. It's a really good movie. I'm really liking it. I want to watch with the family. Yeah, I don't like that language. This one, I just have been dying to watch again. I keep forgetting about it, but then I remembered about it again because this is also Florida Project is A24. There's another A24 movie, and that is The Whale. I was dying to watch this one again. Really like this one, and it's one of those movies that it's the reason why I'll rewatch a movie is a lot that those rules are a lot more strict than it is with comics. With comics, like it takes me like an hour at the most to read one issue of a comic, and because I do like a pile of comics, I'll have like 10 books, and I'll read like say I have X-Men, Spider-Man, Batman, Waking the Divine, and Stray Dogs. I'll read one of each, so it'll be 5 per day. That's what I do. I don't read all of Spider-Man one day and then all of Stray Dogs the next day. No. It's one of each. And it's just for a reread, I'm like, okay, I have some open slots, so let's fit those in. I want to reread those. And again, for rereads, I'm going way too complicated for this. And for rereads, it's usually it's a lot easier. It's like, oh, I'm gonna read that again, or I want to give that a second chance, and it's not that much of a deal, so let's do that again. For a movie, if I don't like a movie the first time I watched it, unless it's something that it's like really good that a lot of people like Annihilation is a good example, then I'll rewatch it again. But if it's something like I really, really hated, I think a good example is what's a good example? I don't have a good example. But it's one I really, really hated and I know I will not like again, I won't watch that again. Not even if I'm like, well, yeah, change your mind on this comic and let the movie be the same, even though they're completely different and it's not the movie based on the comic. No, it's just the movie itself. I think a good example is BVS, Dawn of Justice. Even the extended cut I didn't really like. And I'm kind of like, I always tell myself, like, hey, you really liked Zack Snyder's Justice League. Maybe you'll rewatch BVS extended cut and really like it. And I'm like, no, I don't want to do that. I don't want to waste 3 hours of my day watching a movie I'm sure I won't even like again for a second time around, you know? It's just one of those things. But if it was a comic and it was like 7 issues, yeah, I'll read 1 issue per day. But for rereads for books, I'll read it again. I'll do it later. So we're on movies right now. This one I kept putting off. It's just one of those movies that I was like, yeah, I want to watch it, but I don't know. But it's The Book of Life. The better Coco, from what people say. Like, Coco stole a lot from this movie, or like, it was very, I don't say stole, but it was very similar in like feel, and like themes, whatever, and like storyline, and just overall feel of the movie. It's The Book of Life. And I was like, if I liked Coco, and they're saying Book of Life is even better, then let's check out Book of Life. There's also, I feel like, it's also, at the very least, 2 really good songs here. And again, I really wonder what they do with the digital codes. Because it's obviously not in here. And if it was, they would already have been used. But I honestly do wonder what they do with the digital code. I wonder if they've ever forgotten and someone got a free movie. That's what I would do. I know it's not right, but they have a DVD for other patrons. Surely the digital code can be reused. Come on, that's how digital codes work. You can reuse it. This one I kept putting off again. I think they had 2 copies of this movie. I should check to make sure, because when it comes to kids movies, it's like a gamble if it's gonna be super scratched or not scratched enough. I meant to say not scratched at all, but what I said it works even better. Moana. Sequel's coming out. Maybe I should have watched this closer to November, but they didn't have Mulan. At least I wasn't finding it, because I was going to order the M's. I didn't see it. But got this one instead. The reason why I was going to watch Mulan was because I was going to do a Disney Renaissance, a little bit of a like I did with Beauty and the Beast and Aladdin. I was going to get 2 other Disney Renaissance films. I was going to get Mulan and Little Mermaid. But they didn't have Mulan, so I decided, you know what? Let's just get The Little Mermaid. I know, me watching this movie, it's for girls, I'm a guy, it's so funny. Isn't that funny? Isn't that a good joke? It's a really good joke, guys. Cause I'm a guy, and guy movies are like Red Dawn, and Little Mermaid is for girls, but a guy watches it. Isn't that funny? But a girl goes to see Red Dawn, that's different. The reason why I haven't watched the movie for so long is because of that stupid reason. I should just like, honestly, I had the perfect opportunity to watch it a long time ago, but passed it off, or kept passing it off. The next one, so, no, let me do that last. So the other movie I was just talking about, the Darren Aronofsky, I kept getting confused with The Wrestler, is The Fighter. I've watched this movie before. I have this movie. My brain does not work sometimes. The Founder. I always wanted to watch the McDonald's movie. Kept passing it off. And just, I don't know why I did. But, just on movies, rewatching. How did I do that? And it probably is The Wrestler. No, I saw Darren Aronofsky. How did I not put two and two together? How did I like that movie too. I really like The Fighter. And I watched it for the first time. How did I not remember? And to be fair, the one I own isn't the same version as without incriminating myself, it isn't the same version as this, The Fighter. But still, I already had it. And I wasn't trying to do so many rewatches either. Annie Hall. This was so Shelley Duvall recently passed away, and I was just like, you know what? I had some open slots. I was like, you know what? Let's see what they have for Shelley Duvall movies that isn't The Shining, because I already watched The Shining, and I own The Shining at the library. And they came up with this. I was not going to watch Popeye. So, this was the next best thing. And then finally, They Live. Now, the reason why I got They Live, first of all, I wanted to watch it for a long time. I got many of these. And also, I checked out, and it's the reread, Morning in America. And these are still library books, by the way. And the cover here, they did a little homage, haha, so funny. I remember liking this book. So here's the criteria for rereads. Something like Morning in America, I really, really liked, and I wanted to give it a second. I really liked it, I wanted to read it again. And you'll have a book like Sandman. I didn't really like Sandman the first time I read it. I knew it's like a really good series. I wanted to read it again, and I gave it so many chances that, and then finally I liked it, and I really like Sandman. So there's that. Something like Wonder Girl, again like Morning in America, I really, really dug it. Thought it was really damn good. And I just, again, I call it the every 6 month rule. Because on average, every 6 months, I'll check out another book like this. Because I really liked it and want to check it out again. But then you'll have something like Lock and Key. Now, Lock and Key, I have volumes 2 through 6 and all the little, like, hardcover, one-shot books that are kind of, they could just put into one, but they did it to 2, because they wanted to overcharge. It was like $13. It's hardcover. But this one I had on the Kindle, and like I said before, I had to. So on Prime Reading, you're only allowed 10 books at one time, and to have Lock and Key up here when they have it on a Kindle, and they have it at the library, was a fool's errand. Like, why would I do that when I have the library? I have an extra slot to replace that with something like DMZ. So that's why I decided to check this out, and so I can read all of Lock and Key physically. And that's the reason why I didn't get Lock and Key Volume 1 way back when I splurged on the entire series, was because I already had it on the Kindle, and I was trying to save money at that time. That was a long time ago, and that was when I had to save more money than spend. But Lock and Key Volume 1. Now this is a reread also. It's also a reread. I read all of Volume 1, but it's all I've read. I haven't read anything Volume 2 onward. That's, again, rectifying that mistake when I get to that, as part of the 27 book pile. Or I keep saying 27, I think it is 26. I know it's 26, I keep saying 27. Still, the January pile. I should just call it that. Now, then we have something like, and then again, some like with Lock and Key, where I'm reading that because I want to read the whole entire series. You have something like Alice Ever After, where they came out with the sequel, Alice Never After, which I've not read yet. So I wanted to refresh my memory and reread Alice Ever After. So there you go. I remember, it's just a really good book. I'm sure the sequel will be good too, but cannot wait to read this again. And that is all the library books and movies. Now, if you've seen the video, if you saw my July 4th video, all but one of these books you've seen before. So after I show you off this book, you've seen everything that I am going to be reading. Stray Dogs, I already read the first Stray Dogs. This is the sequel, Dog Days. It's a 2-issue miniseries because it's just like little one-shots, and it's an anthology book, so it's nothing. But you'll get a review on that pretty soon here. I would almost say you're going to get the well, I'll give them separate. I'll give the library reviews and the comic reviews and my personal collection video separate. So we get 2 videos there. But all these are ones you've seen before if you saw the July 4th video. I'm just reiterating it because I'm going to be reading them along with them, and to not include them kind of seems weird. The Suicide Squad, Case Files Book 2. That's why I got the Suicide Squad movie. Coming full circle. Crisis on Infinite Earths. Finishing that off once and for all. This is kind of a good example of a book that I didn't really like the first time that much, but I didn't finish it, so it doesn't really count. But the ones that, I didn't really like the first time, reading them again. So far, it is pretty damn good. I'm liking it. I am. Sam, I am. Sorry, I got interest text. Don't you just love when, like, you have something to do and your mom texts you gotta do it and you've already done it? Just that satisfaction of, I already did it. I'm way ahead of you for once. And especially if you're like me, where your brain does not work and keeps forgetting things, as we saw with the fighter. So your brain finally kicks in for once. Anyways, Acts of Vengeance Avengers. And I'm not gonna talk about these movies books at all. I'm just showing them off. X-Men Volume 8. This is I know this is Avengers here, but it's all the X-Men crossovers in the Bronze Age. X-Men Mutant Massacre, the book I really wish, it's good so far, and a little dated here and there, and at the end of the day, I wish I just remembered to read Astonishing X-Men instead. Yeah, I'd be giving myself more to read, but it ain't worth it. But so far, so good with this book. Just again, I've done that. So for this one, it's 2 of them. Because we have Maximum Carnage, we also have Carnage Classic. So I started reading Carnage Classic, and then after 3 issues, they said, "Oh, Maximum Carnage is if you want to read it chronologically, you got to read this before you can jump back on this." It's like, oops, okay, let's read this again. Both of these are rereads, by the way. But Maximum Carnage is a great example of a book that I didn't like the first time, and I'm loving it the second time around so far. It is so 90s in the best way possible. I'm loving it so far. Then we have, okay, so this is Ultimates 2. I finished Ultimates 1. But when I realized that I was already far behind on my reading, I was like, you know what, let's just get on with it and read the second volume in the series. Especially the series itself, I want to read at least, is only 2 volumes. It's like, screw it. After we read Ultimates, let's jump on Ultimates 2. And then there's this one annual in here. It's not collected in here, but it's in here. So I had to read this too. But it's just 1 issue from this book, which I had. Like, I got this way before I got Ultimates, as you can tell. And it was such a breath of fresh air, not breath of fresh air, but such like a hell yeah moment, I guess you would say, when I realized, oh shit, they don't have the Ultimates annual and collected in here, but they have it in here. And for the longest time, I was like, why did I get this book? That's why. Hellboy universes. Hellboy universe book. The Last God. This is a reread, by the way. I read this all the way through. Really enjoyed it, and so far I'm enjoying it again. And I am reading the back matter this time. This stuff at the end here that you see right there, that stuff. I'm reading all that. That's just that thing that's here. That's all just text. I'm reading that. I didn't do it before. Before I didn't. So technically, I've not read this all the way through, but honestly, like, all that text only thing goes in one ear and out the other, so I'm glad I'm reading it still, because it's still, like, you know what, it's no skin off my back. It still takes a little longer to read the book, of course, but no skin off my back. It's such a good series. But yeah, can't escape that fact. So again, with this one, it started out with Caped Crusader, Batman, but then they're like, oh, Death and Family. I was like, alright. So spoilers for those of you who want to wait until the end when I'm reviewing the books to know my picks of the week. I have a lot. I almost can't choose. But definitely far from pick of the week, because I kind of hate this book, is Earth X. One of the many books, one of the few books I'm glad they don't have the omnibus of. Because this is a good example of me just needing to read the book and decide whether or not I want to get the omnibus. There's two omnibus of this book. There's the Earth X Alpha and Omega. To be fair, there is a Spider-Man spin-off that the only thing I'm really liking in this series is the brief glimpses we get at Spider-Man. Because this is an alternate universe, Marvel Universe. And the brief glimpses we get at alternate universe Spider-Man is really damn interesting. But everything else is just kind of slow. This Fantastic Four that was pretty interesting, but they have this thing at the start of each issue. For 5 pages, it's just narration, showing and not telling. Now, I know I shouldn't be reviewing this book, but so far that's what it's like. And honestly, I don't think I will finish it. I will finish it, because I'm almost halfway through. Actually, I'm more than halfway through. But so far, I'm glad I get the omnibus. But that, as I say, is that. How long is this video? 22 minutes. Awesome. It's a TV network, you know, the half hour. It's a Simpsons episode length. I don't know why I didn't just say that. I tried to sound more official, but failed. That's about it. You know, let's do a little post-credit scene of why they get these movies. Because after the fighter, I kind of, like... No, I did. No, I haven't mentioned that for any haul. Never mind. I thought I didn't, but I did. Never mind. That's it.